Η περασμένη χρονιά ήταν σημαντική για όλους τους κατοίκους της Σκωτίας
So far, so good.
και για τα σπάνια και απειλούμενα ζώα που ζουν εδώ.
He's so ginger. 100% belongs in this country.
Στο Εδιμβούργο και στο Πάρκο Άγριας Ζωής, αφοσιωμένοι εργαζόμενοι βρίσκονται στην πρώτη γραμμή της προστασίας εδώ και πάνω από έναν αιώνα. Για μεγάλες δουλειές
The first of many.
ή μικρά είδη.
There's a special place in your heart for the small things. So you drop the tank, you mess it up, game over.
Θα γνωρίσουμε τα 260 άτομα που εργάζονται για την προστασία 3.000 μοναδικών ζώων.
I like Kato more than I like most people.
I'm obviously especially in love with Sale.
Σε αυτήν τη δουλειά η κάθε μέρα είναι διαφορετική
What I'm doing, aren't you?
Oh, he's right behind you again.
και η κάθε στιγμή είναι μοναδική.
Getting the chance to work with these guys is incredible. Dream job. They're super cute, so it's all worth it, really.
Καλώς ήρθατε στον Ζωολογικό Κήπο. Ιπποπόταμοι και συρφίδες, λεοπαρδάλεις του χιονιού και σαλιγκάρια. Όλα αποτελούν μέρος της δέσμευσης του Ζωολογικού Κήπου του Εδιμβούργου και του Πάρκου Άγριας Ζωής Highland για την προστασία των πιο απειλούμενων ειδών από την εξαφάνιση.
We're the ones that have caused the havoc in the world. We're the ones that are causing these populations of all animals to decline. So it's up to us to find a way of fixing it. And for a lot of species, captive breeding programs is the only way to do it.
Having baby animals to look after is just the best thing ever. There's nothing better knowing that one of your females is due to give birth quite soon and coming in the next morning and there's a beautiful baby there. It's just the best feeling in the world.
Most of the bird species will tend to start their breeding behaviours in spring, so that's usually a nice indicator that we're ready for the busy time of the year, and that's the fun part for us all, really.
Μα στο Πάρκο Άγριας Ζωής Highland, κοντά στο Edimvúrgo, το μόνο ζωολογικό κήπο στην Ευρώπη για ζώα προσαρμοσμένα στον ψυχρό κόσμο, η άνοιξη φαίνεται αρκετά μακριά ακόμη.
Perfect weather for polar bears. Not so much humans that have to move polar bears.
Με την εποχή αναπαραγωγής των αρκούδων να πλησιάζει γοργά, ο Άρκτος, ένα από τα δύο αρσενικά του πάρκου, πρέπει να μεταφερθεί από την περιοχή που μοιράζεται με τον φίλο του τον Walker, μαζί με τη θηλυκιά Βικτόρια, στην άλλη άκρη του πάρκου.
He's over 600 kilograms just now, so getting him into the crate is going to be a bit of a workout. There's risks involved, of course, that we've taken into account. It's as safe as it can be, but it's always a worry. There's so many moving parts that one wee thing that can go wrong can have a big effect on the whole operation, you know.
Θα συμμετέχουν σχεδόν όλοι, μαζί και εργαζόμενοι, στη συντήρηση. Όμως πάει πρώτη μία μικρή ομάδα κτηνίατρων και φροντιστών για να δώσει στον Άρκτος ένα αναισθητικό ώστε να τον αρκώσει για τη μεταφορά.
So, yeah, the rump's the best, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, you can use shoulder and stuff.
Arm for here, but...
Ο Άρκτος βρίσκεται ήδη στον περιορισμένο χώρο που έχει συνηθίσει να αλληλεπιδρά με τους φροντιστές κατά την εκπαίδευση. Είναι σημαντικό να εξασφαλίσουν ότι είναι όσο το δυνατόν πιο ήρεμος. Το στρες μπορεί να εμποδίσει το αναισθητικό να δράσει όπως πρέπει.
What are you doing, mister? We need your bum, though.
Σήμερα υπεύθυνη για τα βελάκια είναι η Βίκη, η επικεφαλής φροντίστρια σαρκοβόρων.
We wanted to dart him in the rump. There's a lot of muscle there, so the drug is administered and absorbed through the muscle more effectively. So I had to make sure I got that dart in the right place so the drug would take effect quickly.
Walker is, even though they have their differences, he's like his long-term social partner. So he'll be being a bit protective. So you might be able to hear him calling and chuffing, and he's worried about what's happening.
Έπειτα από μία μικρή αναμονή, ο Άρκτος φαίνεται να κοιμάται βαθιά.
Nothing so far. No, nothing so far.
Okay.
Ευχαριστημένη γι' αυτό, η ομάδα κινείται γρήγορα.
What, are we going under his legs?
Yeah, just right round his arse.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, left.
Χρειάζεται μεγάλη προσπάθεια από 16 άτομα με γερούς κανάδινους σημάντες που δεν θα πληγώσουν τον άρκτος για να τον μεταφέρουν σταθερά και προσεκτικά στο κλουβί.
He's got it.
It was actually really smooth. I think better than maybe last time we did it. And this time the crate was modified so it opened at both ends.
5 λεπτά αργότερα έχουν φτάσει όλοι στην άλλη άκρη του πάρκου, 800 μέτρα μακριά.
We'll give him a wee while just to kind of come round in this area. Then we'll give him access to the smaller outside pen. And then before the day's out, we'll probably give him access to the main enclosure where he'll see Victoria.
You good over there, Vicky?
Yeah, I'm open here.
Right.
Okay.
All right, you can open it up.
Λίγο βρώμικα, μα τι να γίνει. Ο υποψήφιος μέλλον μπαμπά σύντομα βγαίνει έξω. Τον αφήνουν να αρχίσει την αναζήτηση της Βικτόριας και να κάνει ό,τι ελπίζουν όλοι. Στο Εδιμβούργο, ένα ακόμη αρσενικό περιμένει το πρώτο του ραντεβού. Ο 4,5 ετών Λούκου είναι μία τίγρη της Σουμάτρας. Είναι το πιο σοβαρά απειλούμενο από όλα τα υποείδη τίγρης. Και το πιο μικρόσωμο, με τάση να είναι πιο επιθετικό και νευρικό από τους πιο μεγαλόσωμους συγγενείς του. Και αν πλησιάσετε αρκετά μπορείτε να ξεχωρίσετε μία τίγρη της Σουμάτρας από τον τρόπο που χωρίζονται στα δύο οι μαύρες ραβδόσεις στα πίσω της πόδια. Ο Λούκου ήρθε πρόσφατα από τον Ντέβον ως πιθανό τέρι για το θηλυκό του ζωολογικού κήπου, την Τάρμα.
He's a nice boy, he's lovely, and we hope that this year we get them paired up and hopefully breeding, which would be absolutely fantastic.
Σήμερα όμως ο Λούκου έχει εκπαίδευση με την Άλισον και τον Μάικλ.
You know, you can't just open a tiger's mouth and have a quick look at its teeth if you think there's a problem there. Whereas if we have our animals trained in such a way that on a daily basis we can run through a training program with them, get them to open their mouths, get them to come over to us, then it allows us to check over our animal really, really thoroughly, and it allows animals to participate in their own care. At the moment he's worked out we have a heated rock in the outside enclosure, so on a day like today where it's dry but there's a wee bit of a cold nip in there, he quite enjoys just lying on the heated rock.
Κάποια ζώα ανταποκρίνονται πολύ καλά στην εκπαίδευση. Όταν φτάνουν στο χώρο με τις τίγρεις τους περιμένει μια έκπληξη.
Hello, look at you. What a lovely boy.
Όπως οι οικόσιτες γάτες, έτσι και τα μεγάλα ελουροειδή χρειάζονται ένα ετήσιο εμβόλιο για προστασία από κοινές, μα εν δυνάμει θανατηφόρες ασθένειες. Είναι ώρα για το εμβόλιο του Λούκου.
We want to get him into the crate and get him feeding and get him so that he will press up against the side of the crate so that we can do an injection. Now he is trained for this, but he was trained in his previous place. So this is new to him, a new setup, a new training crate, new keepers, probably doing new signals. So we just need to be very patient with him, but he's being great.
Μια ήρεμη και ήπια προσέγγιση είναι απαραίτητη για να κερδίσουν την εμπιστοσύνη του.
So he might be a wee bit nervous, but that's fine. We just talk to him and allow him to smell and get a wee reward. They're extremely dangerous animals, and we do work up close with them, but we have very set procedures and protocols that allow us to do this in a safe manner. I've been in the industry over 33 years now, but you still pinch yourself at times when you're sort of standing there and there's an extremely large, amazing tiger in front of you. Good boy. That's it.
Με κομμάτια κρέατος για ανταμοιβή, η Άλισον θέλει να ακουμπήσει το καπούλι του Λούκου στο συρματόπλεγμα προς την πλευρά της. Είναι η καλύτερη θέση για να του κάνουν το εμβόλιο.
So I'm going to touch, okay? Touching, touching, touching. Good boy. Okay, I'm going to try a little bit just with the other slightly more pointy end, just to see if we get any reaction to that. Right. I'm pushing in, he's pushing back against me, which is quite good. And I'll do one more, Michael. And then I am, so you ready?
Yeah, last bit of it.
And ready to off. Good boy. The training session there was fantastic. And it might not look like we did a huge amount, but for him it's a massive amount. It's the third time he's been in the training crate. Training is so much better. You do tiny little incremental steps towards your end goal. And it's so much better doing a session like that. It's very short, but very positive, moving slightly forward. And he comes out of it basically going, well, I didn't have to do very much there, and I got a little meat reward. So next time, yeah, I'll come in.
Οι εμβληματικοί πιγκουίνοι στον Ζωολογικό Κήπο του Εδιμβούργου βρίσκονται εδώ πάνω από 100 χρόνια. Όλοι προέρχονται από το ίδιο μέρος του κόσμου που περιλαμβάνει τα υποανταρκτικά νησιά και το άκρο της Νότιας Αμερικής, μα ποικίλουν σε εμφάνιση και μέγεθος. Οι βασιλικοί πιγκουίνοι ήρθαν πρώτοι το 1913. Έπειτα ήρθαν οι πιγκουίνοι άλτες του Βορρά με τα φανταχτερά κυτριναλοφεία τους και οι λιγότερο εντυπωσιακοί πιγκουίνοι γκεντού που παρακολουθούν στενά τα καμώματα των φροντιστών. Αυτήν την πολύ ξεχωριστή μέρα στο ετήσιο πρόγραμμα των κεντού.
First of March every year, we put down these hollow rings in rows on the nest site, and the gentoos will fill those nest rings with stones, and then that'll be the launch of the breeding season. I think if we start out here, look where you're getting to nest this year. The excitement. Yes, we've come along a wee bit. This is the hard bit. Yes, about there. Yeah. We can straighten them all up once they're down. Oh, here they come. We have a mixture of solid concrete nest rings, and we've also got fiberglass rings as well. So we've got about 23, 24 concrete ones to put out, which obviously is a lot heavier work than the fiberglass, but the birds actually prefer the concrete ones. It's easier for them, the small chicks, to get up and into the nest with their nails on the concrete. Out the way. Out the road for 2 seconds. Not quite that much out the road.
Με σχεδόν 100 κεντού να φροντίσουν και με στόχο τη διατηρησιμότητα, χρησιμοποιούν αυτούς τους δακτυλίους για φωλιές εδώ και δεκαετίες.
Just say if you guys need a break.
Κάποιοι υπάρχουν από τη δεκαετία του 1960. Για τους πιγκουίνους, η τέλεια τοποθέτηση των δακτυλίων είναι βασική για να φτιάξουν φωλιές.
Even before the nest rings go down, they will be sitting in the middle of where their nests should be. And although we try and remember as best we can where the nests are year after year, for a lot of our birds, if we didn't get it exact enough, then they wouldn't be happy with it. they would sit at the side and wait for us to move it.
Ο ενθουσιασμός αυξάνεται και φαίνεται πως υπάρχει έρωτας.
You'll see a lot of this by hissing behaviour. So that's a courtship. So it's when the pair come together. They'll come to the nest together, they'll sort of bow and they'll make a hissing noise at the same time. And that's them essentially establishing that nest as theirs, and their pairs are coming together. The pair might not speak to each other all year or associate with each other all year, but as soon as that nest ring goes down, they'll come straight back together.
Αφού μπουν οι δακτύλοι, είναι ώρα να κάνουν λίγη δουλειά οι πιγκουίνοι.
They'll be filling these nests now for the next wee while. Probably for the rest of the week and into next week, they'll be constantly working on those nests and perfecting them ready for hopefully eggs, maybe the end of March. We normally see our first egg being laid, so yeah, it won't be long before they're then incubating, and then that's it really genuinely kicked off from there.
Στο Πάρκο Άγριας Ζωής είναι η επομένη της μετακίνησης του Άρκτος, ώστε να είναι κοντά στη Βικτόρια. Και η φροντίστρια Έμα παρακολουθεί την πρόοδό του.
Yesterday, just after we'd had lunch, we popped back up with the vets and had a look at him. He had the holding pen in the den, and because he was looking quite good, we gave him his side of the enclosure as well. So he had a good explore, very noisy, looking for Victoria, seeing what was going on. When he was doing his roaring sound, it was actually echoing back off the mountains. He got quite loud and it was so beautiful.
Οι βρυχυθμοί τράβηξαν την προσοχή της Βικτόριας.
She came over and had a good look at him, and he was getting quite excited along the fence line. She was a little bit shyer, so we're still looking for a little bit more of an interest from her before we decide to mix them. So I think we'll probably leave it for today. I think Vicky's thinking maybe over the weekend. Actually though, she's just walking over, so this is perfect timing. It's sort of friendly, like he's been non-threatening.
Μα η Βικτόρια δεν πείθεται εντελώς.
So she's a little bit huffy, so it's different from the chuffing he was making. So that's more of a huff towards him rather than the chuffing. It's not totally negative, but she will do that when she's not totally sure.
Ο καημένος ο Άρκτος δεν μπορεί να κάνει και πολλά πέρα από το να δροσιστεί λίγο.
I do actually really love bears. That's what I've always loved. So getting the chance to work with these guys is incredible. Dream job.
Εκτός από τις πολικές αρκούδες υπάρχουν άλλα 28 είδη ζώων στο Πάρκο Άγριας Ζωής Highland. Από οπλιφόρα και σαρκοβόρα μέχρι πτηνά. Αγριόκουρκοι και γερανοί, η μεγάλη γκρίζα κουκουβάγια και ο ευρασιατικός μπούφος με τις χαρακτηριστικές του φεσταυτιά και τα πορτοκαλιά μάτια. Και όπως αποδεικνύεται, η φροντίστρια Έμα δεν τρελαίνεται μόνο για τις αρκούδες.
This is really my first experience of working full on with birds. I'm really enjoying it and I'm starting to learn a lot more about them, which is really exciting. The eagle owls are my favourite. They're quite serious, but they can also be quite goofy as well. So I really enjoy getting to know their personalities and working with them. They are both boys, although originally we got them as a pair. They thought that one of them was female. It was a wee while before we found out that they're both boys, and their names are Roger and Lyra. So like from the Dark Materials. They are 31 and 33. So they're both quite old in the wild. I think they live to in their 20s sort of age. So they're definitely a lot older. Because animals in captivity live quite a lot longer, it's important to make sure that the long life that they have here is a really good one. So things like enrichment and enclosure design are really important.
Η Έμα έχει ένα σχέδιο για κάποια κομμένα δέντρα. Και η συναδελφός της, η Σοφία, τη βοηθά με τα βαριά κομμάτια.
So we've got quite a few branches that we picked out for the owl enclosure, and I think we've got some new bark coming in, so we'll be able to make it look a lot nicer for them and have a lot more options for feeding them and stuff, just to vary it a bit.
I remember starting like as a volunteer and I was absolutely knackered, but you just get fitter and fitter, I think, every day of working as a keeper.
Ξαφνικά σημειώνεται αναταραχή στον χώρο των γερανών. Ένα κοράκι έμπλεξε το φτερό του στο δίχτυ και παγιδεύτηκε.
Okay, I got you. I got you.
Oh, well done, Emma. That's amazing. Well done.
Okay. Yeah, we'll need to kind of tie these two together.
So I'll just keep coming through. You go, yeah, let it go, and then.
Okay.
It's probably, yeah.
I think it's fine.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Poor thing. Its wings looking okay, so I'm going to let it go. Here you go. It's a life, same as all the animals we look after, so I still think it's important to look after them.
Η διάσωση ολοκληρώθηκε.
I'll just drive quite slow.
Συνεχίζουν να μεταφέρουν τα δέντρα πιο κοντά στο χώρο των μπούφων για να τον ανανεώσουν. Αυτήν τη φορά με λίγη βοήθεια.
I can grab that one.
I'm really hot. Oh, I stayed on my branch.
Στο Εδιμβούργο έχουν περάσει λίγες μέρες από την τελευταία εκπαίδευση του Λούκου, της τίγρης της Σουμάτρας. Ως προετοιμασία για το ετήσιο εμβόλιό του, σήμερα η Άλισον σκοπεύει να αναβαθμίσει την εκπαίδευση από σκούντιγμα με σκουπόξυλο σε κάτι που μοιάζει περισσότερο με αληθινή ένεση.
He's been so good that we're just gonna, I guess, push it forward another wee bit with him. This here, which we're doing very makeshift here, is a blunt needle. So obviously the cap's on it just now. But we've used it when we've trained a few other animals for blood draws. Right, we all happy?
Σήμερα, ο φροντιστής Άντριου δίνει τις λιχουδιές, ενώ η Τζέιντ παρακολουθεί, βοηθώντας να συνηθίσει ο Λούκου να έχει γύρω του διαφορετικούς ανθρώπους, ήχους και μυρωδιές.
Right. I've got the blunt needle with the cap on, and I'm just pressing in. Still pressing, he's actually pressing against me. And off. Good boy. He's an absolute diamond. He's been trained really well and trained to accept this, and it's so very obvious. So this is a blunt needle, Andrew. I will just touch him with it now. On now. However, it's worthwhile putting in those little tiny steps of training because you try and kind of cover everything that's going to happen on the day just to make sure that there's none of that is going to spook him. I'm now jabbing a little bit. No reaction, no tail. Good boy. And to be perfectly honest with you, if he's accepting the blunt needle being jabbed into his thigh, he'll accept a needle without a problem. The vaccination's a very small amount and it's put in very quickly with a thin needle. And I will leave it at that. What a star. Good lad.
Στο βράχο των Πιγκουίνων, τα αίματα ανάβουν στην περιοχή αναπαραγωγής των Κεντού.
Already, they're really defensive of their nests. As soon as that nest ring goes down and that's their nest, that's it. They won't let any other penguins on them. Any penguin that comes near their nest to try and get in or steal a stone, there'll be a huge fight on that nest. Some of our older birds can be kicked off their nest because they just don't have it in them to fight against some of the young pairs that then come on. Get the occasional song. This is Neville and Santi. They're just singing with each other, saying, this is our nest, this is our territory, we are a pair.
Όμως κάποιος δεν μπορεί να αποφασίσει.
Every time I look, Snowflake's in a different nest. He's been there, there.
Στο Πάρκο Άγριας Ζωής, οι πολικές αρκούδες Άρκτος και Βικτόρια περνούν ποιοτικό χρόνο μαζί. Από τότε που το πρώτο τους μικρό, Χέιμις, η πρώτη πολική αρκούδα που γεννήθηκε στη Βρετανία εδώ και 25 χρόνια, έφυγε από το πάρκο πριν από λίγους μήνες, το προσωπικό ελπίζει οι γονείς του να αναθερμάνουν τη σχέση τους.
This morning.
Yeah, what were they? You were saying they were.
So they were sort of circling each other. So he would come to sniff her bum, and then she would go to sniff his bum, and so they were keeping going round and round, and then she'll run off, and then wait for him, and then do it again. So it's been quite nice.
Good.
I got a couple of videos of that, but they're exhausted. They were totally flat out when I got here, and they were standing on the pool after circling each other, and she was like falling asleep. Her eyes were closing, so. I don't know if that means that they've been doing more overnight. Maybe they have
Possibly,
mated.
yeah,
so
yeah, right.
It's quite exciting.
Maybe they're just trying to stay warm.
Yeah.
Οι αρκούδες αυτές δεν έχουν πρόβλημα να μείνουν ζεστές. Είναι φτιαγμένες για την Αρκτική. Με ένα παχύ στρώμα λίπους κάτω από το δέρμα και 2 στρώματα γούνας απ' έξω, μπορούν να αντέξουν θερμοκρασίες ως και μείον 45 βαθμών Κελσίου.
Hello. Oh, I see you.
keep your distance.
Yeah.
Was he protective like that when you're up here on your own?
He's done it once to me. I was in the holding pen, and he was rolling around in front of her, and then he got up and he stomped.
Yeah, she's knackered, eh?
Yeah.
But you've got time to hang out here a wee bit today?
Yeah, I'm going to try and watch them as much as possible.
Yeah, brilliant. It's the beginning of breeding season right now. This is, early days, so what Emma's describing that she's seen is really encouraging. There's a hint of Barry White on the breeze. Leave them to it.
Σε κανονικές εποχές, το Πάρκο Άγριας Ζωής και ο Ζωολογικός Κήπος δέχονται σχεδόν 1 εκατομμύριο επισκέπτες το χρόνο. Όμως η περασμένη χρονιά ήταν πολύ διαφορετική, ήταν δύσκολη για όλους και, όπως πολλές άλλες οργανώσεις, η Βασιλική Ζωολογική Εταιρεία της Σκωτίας, που κατέχει και διευθύνει και τα δύο μέρη, αντιμετώπισε κάποιες σοβαρές προκλήσεις. Όμως τα πράγματα φαίνονται να φτιάχνουν.
It should be an exciting day. This is the first time for 2 months that we've been completely open. So we're expecting a sold-out day, 1,500 visitors. So busy day for the guys to get back in the swing of things, so it should be really exciting. We're hoping that after all of the lockdowns, shutting, opening again, closing again, opening again, that this will be the last time and we'll just be open for the future going forward now. So it's really exciting for the team to just get a bit of normality, get people back in, see the animals, and just have a great day out.
Πρωινή συγκέντρωση, τηρώντας αποστάσεις.
We are open till 5 o'clock today, in case you didn't know. The team here are so brilliant, so I've got complete faith in them always, so hopefully it goes well.
Ώρα να υποδεχτούν το πρώτο κύμα επισκεπτών.
Good morning, guys, in you come. Welcome. Hi there. If you just want to follow around for me there and just go to one of the staff members, that's great. Good morning, guys. That's great, guys. You want to head up to Frank at the back there? That's great. Thank you. Enjoy. Thanks so much. Oh, you've brought your own panda with you? Well, it's always a relief and everything goes smoothly and they're all here and everyone's happy. It's just a nightmare with the mask because you want everyone to see that you're smiling and happy. Trying to do as much of that with your eyes as possible.
All good around here? Yeah, all good.
Στο χώρο βρίσκονται ομάδες από επιπλέον φύλακες. Τις συντονίζει ο Διευθυντής Υπηρεσίας Τζόναθον.
By having stewards placed at different areas around the zoo, it means that the visitors will always come into contact with someone that they can ask questions to if they've got, if they need any directions, if they need any help and support. There's always somebody there or close by that they'll be able to get that information from. So I've been working here for about 1.5 years. It's the only job that people have said, no 2 days will be the same, and it's been genuinely true. It's fantastic. I love working here.
Is there a penguin that's got skin like alopecia?
So yes, somewhere within that mass of penguins is Snowflake. That's right, yeah, Snowflake. I'm trying to see if I can find them. In fact, I can see, if you look straight ahead, they're just sat in the nest.
Oh yeah, I can see it.
Can you see?
Yeah. Look at the building there, and then look at the white camera on the building, and then look down, and then a little bit to your right.
That's it. They're just a little bit paler than the rest of them.
It's amazing.
They're a cheeky one as well.
Is it? It's just brilliant. And we've only been here for like 30 minutes, and we've just had a great time. Loving every single bit. We get to meet Jonathan, even better.
I'll give you a $5 later on.
Thanks, Jonathan.
Στο μεταξύ, στη βάση,
Had about 1,100 visitors in so far. All seem to be going really smoothly, touch wood. No major disasters, everyone seems to be really happy just getting them through and getting them in. So far, so good. When the weather's nice and the zoo's full, the staff feel that energy as well, so they're happy too. So it's kind of happy visitors, happy staff as well. So it's been a lovely morning.
No, we're very excited that it's open again, aren't you? It's like the highlight of our week, isn't it?
There are lots to go and explore, but it's so nice to do something normal for a change.
What are we going to see first, do you think? The meerkats, oh yeah. Then flamingos. And then the flamingos. Yeah. And then I think we're going to have a little picnic as well.
It just gets us back to where we should be and getting everybody to enjoy the surroundings, to enjoy being here, and yeah, it's brilliant.
Με την εποχή αναπαραγωγής των πιγκουίνων στο φόρτε της, οι προστατευόμενοι της Στον και της Λόρνα είναι πεινασμένοι όσο ποτέ άλλοτε.
So this is the blue whiting for the gentoos and the kings, and then the rock hoppers get the smaller sprats. At this time of year, they're going through about 4 to 6 buckets in the morning, and last night they had 13 buckets, so definitely gearing up for their egg-laying season.
Η Στον φροντίζει τις βιταμίνες και τα φάρμακα ξεχωριστά για κάθε έναν από τους 124 πιγκουίνους. Όλα πρέπει να κρυφτούν στην τροφή τους.
For liquid medication, we pop any liquid into gel capsules, so it means we can pop that much easier into the fish, and we know it's not just going to leak out before the penguin can get it.
Χρησιμοποιεί το δοκιμασμένο σύστημα της ομάδας να τυλίγουν κάθε ψάρι με φάρμακο σε μία χαρτοπετσέτα με το όνομα κάθε πιγκουίνου.
When that bird comes over, we know exactly which fish belongs to them, so we just pop it down the gill. Wrap that fish round. And that's ours.
Πρώτη στάση της Στον, οι απειλούμενοι πιγκουίνοι άλτες. Οι φωλιές τους τοποθετήθηκαν πριν από μία εβδομάδα. Πιστεύετε ότι όσοι απομένουν στη φύση αναπαράγονται σε μια χούφτα μικροσκοπικά νησάκια στο νότιο Ατλαντικό.
We have 24 rock hoppers altogether. We have 21 of them in this breeding setup, and then we've got our retirees who are still in the main exhibit. So we keep them out of here because it can be quite a hostile environment, and I don't think putting some of our old ones through that is entirely fair.
Κάποιοι ζωηροί νεαροί ήρθαν τρέχοντας για τα ψάρια τους.
They're like young, angry teenagers. So there's 6 established nests on this nest site, and we've just got 2 eggs so far. And we have one on this nest here, and we have one on an end nest.
Οι πιγκουίνοι άλτες είναι ασυνήθιστοι. Κάθε ζευγάρι κάνει 2 αυγά, όμως μόνο το δεύτερο είναι γόνιμο. Έτσι η Στον περιμένει με λαχτάρα να γεννηθούν δεύτερα αυγά.
There's very few zoos that have northern rock hoppers and breed them successfully, so they are an incredibly endangered species, and their numbers are still on a decline out in the wild, so this is really important that we're able to establish a good captive colony as essentially a reserve. So if the worst happens and this species goes extinct in the wild, then we know we've still got the species that then we can do work with to get them then potentially reintroduced. People don't necessarily always realise that they're helping directly with conservation of these species out in the wild by coming to the zoo, but that's one of the biggest and most important things of zoos nowadays, is that we are trying to help save the species out in the wild.
Και ο 10 ετών Μπαλμπόα φαίνεται να παίρνει πολύ σοβαρά το ρόλο του.
He's actually trying to get the female to lie down so he can mate her. It's certainly not the gentlest of courtship, but if you're a rocky, it works. I would say to see a proper mating like that, you probably only see it maybe once a season. They're normally more secretive about their mating. Gentoos, you get sick of seeing it.
Καθώς και το Πάρκο Άγριας Ζωής ετοιμάζεται να υποδεχτεί ξανά το κοινό, οι φροντιστές Έμα και Ρόμπι αρχίζουν την ανάπλαση στον περίβολο των ευρασιατικών μπούφων.
At the moment, we're getting all the old logs out, clean it up a wee bit, and then we're going to start putting the new ones that we've collected in, and make new perching sites for them and places for them to feed.
Ελπίζουν να το τελειώσουν σε λίγες μέρες πριν ξανανοίξει το πάρκο.
Yeah, I mean, just after the winter and everything's tired, and it's been in here a while now, and it's getting past its best now, so you just want to try and renew everything.
Οι ευρασιατικοί μπούφοι βρίσκονται σε μεγάλο μέρος της Ευρώπης, στην Ασία και σε μέρη της Βόρειας Αφρικής. Ο πληθυσμός τους μειώθηκε σημαντικά τον 20ο αιώνα, κυρίως επειδή οι άνθρωποι τους κυνηγούν. Όμως τώρα το είδος προστατεύεται ευρέως και ο αριθμός τους στη φύση άρχισε να επανέρχεται.
They were here when I came here, and they've had a move. They were actually in the forest habitat, right in the corner area where now we're actually using for cats, because we're using got so many wild cats now. It makes a bit more room, but we found with the rocks and that in here, ideal area for them as well. Okay, I'm gonna. Ooh.
You're right.
Aye.
Oh no!
Oh, is it rolling back?
It fell all the way
Well,
back.
as it stops, it'll be fine.
Η αίμα ξέρει ότι όλη αυτή η δραστηριότητα επηρεάζει τα πουλιά.
So they're kind of a wee bit upset.
You want to give them a wee rest now?
Yeah, we'll give them 10 minutes and let them chill out for a bit. It looks better already.
Aye.
Yeah, and we've got some like little slices of log that we're going to put for like different perches and different places to feed them. So we can maybe take out a few stumps that are a little older once we've got enough of those in. And then give it a big rake and put some bark in, I think.
Αφού ηρεμήσουν ο Ρότζερ και ο Λάιρα,
Remember to bend your knees, as our old gym teacher used to tell us if you're lifting anything heavy. I'll tell you what, I'll measure it first. 11 and a toe.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Excellent, what a team.
That's nice.
Yeah. Whew, I'm out of breath. So if I put that up there.
I think it's quite good like that, with the branches holding on.
Right.
Yeah, I like it.
That at an angle.
I don't know how we'd attach it on there.
I do.
Do you?
You just put a screw through it. Aye.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
professional
perfect.
job. Professional job.
They're not too bad at the moment. I think us giving them a little break helped.
δεν παρακολουθούν τα τεκτενόμενα μόνο οι μπούφοι. Η ανακαίνιση τραβά το ενδιαφέρον και των γειτόνων.
I don't know.
Too long?
Maybe.
Just a few more in this corner, I think.
I think so. And then we need to attach that, and then we'll put all our perches on.
Aye. And then we put the discs on.
Yeah.
Could put a few discs on there, maybe.
Yeah,
One
definitely.
in the end, one in the middle.
Yeah.
Bob's your uncle. Fanny's your aunt.
Yes.
Aye. Right.
Cool.
Ήρθε η μέρα να ανοίξει το πάρκο και ο Σον από την εξυπηρέτηση επισκεπτών ετοιμάζεται να υποδεχτεί το κοινό.
Have you got a booking? Yeah. Yeah, is it on your phone? Yeah, if you can open it up down here because the signal off the gate's really poor. No pets or animals in your vehicle? Fantastic. Just make your way up. Cheers then. Obviously we have to check they're not out of area at the moment, that kind of thing. Check for animals, that kind of stuff as well. Oh yeah, we've had people trying to bring sheep in and things like that. Pulling the wool over all right, I think. The weather's not looking too bad at the moment. It snowed yesterday, so things can only get better, can't they?
Just over a couple of hundred today. They're all local. We check all the postcodes, make sure everybody's happy. The general reaction from people coming in, it's like the cork out the bottle. Everybody's, way, we can back to the park again. I think the animals miss us as well. I mean, I was up sorting out the tiger walkways for the last couple of days, and they were bouncing around looking very curious as to what this person was, which they haven't seen for the last 3 months or so.
Ο ανανεωμένος περίβολος των μπούφων προσελκύει θαυμαστές.
It's a little bit quieter just because we've just got the locals in just now, but yeah, it's nice to see new faces and seeing people getting excited about the animals again. It's feeling a bit like we're going a bit more back to normality, so that's a nice feeling as well.
Στο Εδιμβούργο έχουν συναρπαστικά νέα από την περιοχή με τις φωλιές των πιγκουίνων αλτών. Εμφανίστηκε ένα σημαντικό δεύτερο αυγό.
The first pair for us who have now laid both eggs
are a pair called Amy and Gordon. They've been together for quite a few years, and they've also had a few chicks with us, so they've definitely mastered the craft. Although it's said that it's always the second egg that's fertile, we've certainly found here that we very rarely, but occasionally do get a first fertile egg. And we don't want to take that risk in discarding that first egg or putting that first egg to risk because they are such an endangered species. So what we do is we actually take the first egg and we pop it in an incubator.
Right, Amy, can I have a wee look? You've got your second wee eggie. So this is the second egg. So this is the one that we'll be leaving with her. So I'm just going to take it for 2 seconds. I'm just going to write a nice big number 2 on it. It's the second egg. We never turn the eggs. It's really important that we don't turn them. So when we're putting the number on the bottom. So I just wrote a number 2 underneath. And we just do a little 8. That's nest 8. So I'll just go and pop this back and then I'll collect our first egg. Hello, my darling. Hello. So when they're biting, you know, they've got really sharp, dense, strong little beaks. It really nips when they bite. So this is the first egg. A little bit muckier than the fresh second egg. They tend to not really care about their first egg. You will sometimes see pairs kicking the egg about the nest by mistake, not really paying much attention to it. But as soon as that second egg is laid, their behaviour completely changes and they become really settled. You know, they're incubating that egg really calmly. So we're going to take this to the incubator room now and set up an incubator and leave the rockies in peace.
Αφού μετρήσει το αυγό,
63 millimeters. And we do the same again. We take it from the fat end, 44.3.
το καθαρίζει λίγο από τη βρωμιά.
I just give it a little wipe, just to take off those big chunks really.
Και του δίνει έναν αριθμό αναγνώρισης.
02/1 just means she was the second female to lay this year and this is her first egg.
Πριν το ζυγίσει.
74.1 grams. And I'm quite happy with the temperature and the humidity in this incubator. It's exactly what I want it to be at. And that's it really. We'll come back in a week's time and we'll have another weigh of the egg to see if there's any development.
Μέσα σε λιγότερο από 30 λεπτά το ανεπιθύμητο αυγό της Amy και του Gordon είναι ασφαλές, προσφέροντας την πιθανότητα ενός ακόμα πολύτιμου νεοσού. Στο Πάρκο Άγριας Ζωής περιμένουν να μάθουν αν η πολική αρκούδα Βικτόρια είναι έγκυος στο μικρό ή τα μικρά του άρκτος, αφού οι πολικές αρκούδες συχνά γεννούν 2 μωρά. Στο μεταξύ, η φροντίστρια Έμα έχει αρκετή δουλειά.
You get to make a connection with them, so getting to know their different personalities, what they like, what they don't like.
Η εξοικείωση με τη συμπεριφορά τους μπορεί να δείξει στους φροντιστές πολλά για τα ζώα που φροντίζουν και η Έμα παρακολουθεί στενά τη Βικτόρια για οποιαδήποτε αλλαγή.
At the moment, what we're seeing from her, the last couple of days, she's kind of not wanted him in her area, so she's been growling and doing little charges at him, but she's not really meaning it. She'll open her mouth and stuff as if she would bite his legs, but she doesn't actually go through with it. It's more just showing who's boss and getting him away from her area. So that was what I was talking about with the sort of charging and roaring behaviour. So she's definitely telling them off a lot.
Όμως αυτά τις τα καμώματα δεν φαίνονται και τόσο ανησυχητικά.
I wasn't working here when the polar bears bred last time, so I looked back in the records and we keep detailed notes of everything that goes on with the animals, and that's been really helpful for me. What I've seen from the breeding season before is that Victorian Arctos would be getting on really well and showing a lot of breeding behaviours, and that would happen for a few weeks, and then after that she would kind of push him away That's kind of what we're seeing this time as well. So it is completely normal. That really gives us quite a lot of hope that things might work out the same.
They're still getting on well enough to eat next to each other when she's not roaring. And this morning, after I'd finished cleaning, they were lying fairly close together.
If Victoria is already pregnant, which we're really hoping that she is, it's understandable that she wants a little bit of space.
Στο Εδιμβούργο, οι κτηνίατροι Σάιμον και Στέφανη είναι με την Άλισον και τη Τζαστίνα στο χώρο των Τίγριων για το ετήσιο εμβόλιο του Λούκου, το πρώτο από τότε που ήρθε εδώ.
Training of animals is a part of the job that I love. It can have its moments and it can be frustrating and you have to have the patience of a saint.
Happy?
But I love having an end goal that we have to get to and working the steps to get to, because it's different for not just different species but for every single individual you're working with. If I could train animals all day, that's what I would do.
Boy.
Η Άλισον και ο Σάιμον είναι πάνω από 10 χρόνια συνάδελφοι και έχουν μάθει να συνεργάζονται πολύ καλά.
Do you want to come in and I'll show you where I've got him to, and then you can just, you know, when he's like that, we might need to take him back up, feed him there, bring him back. And then right at that side, on the side, yeah. So we get him down. Good boy. So this is where I'm at. You just feed him there. And I've just been jab, 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 and doing it with the cap off as well. So, yeah, I'll jab him on this as well. Jab, jab, jab. And we're not really getting anything, so if you're happy enough, just, you know, the needles just going in now. Okay. And he's just moving.
Η πρώτη προσπάθεια απέτυχε. Μα με μια μικρή αλλαγή,
Yeah, you need to move him up again and then...
ο Σάιμον το κάνει να φαίνεται εύκολο τη δεύτερη φορά και είναι έτοιμος να φύγει αμέσως.
Done. Good as that. Good boy.
I think it's probably true to say that some of the animals aren't fond of vets, so once that procedure's over, we like to just quietly leave so that there is minimal association on his part with us and anything that may have upset him. Nobody likes an injection; they're necessary, but clearly Alison has done a really good job in being able to train Lúku to accept a hand injection. It's a difficult thing to do.
As you could see when the needle first was going in, he kind of pulled away a little bit, but we just stay nice and calm, persevere with it, keep feeding, move him back into position so he's leaning against it again. And yeah, it's, you know, it's a quick injection to do, so. But yeah, fabulous, great, really, really pleased.
Οι 3 τελευταίες εβδομάδες ήταν πολύ άσχολες στην περιοχή αναπαραγωγής των Κεντού.
It's been really active since we put the nest rings down. We've had a lot of fighting and squabbling over nests, but they've all started to settle in nicely now. They've filled all their nests with stones, and in actual fact, we've had our first egg laid today. So one of our young females, called Muffin, she's laid our egg this year. So she's the first one to go. And we normally find that once the first female lays, it spreads. So we hopefully should start seeing eggs being laid pretty much every day now.
Όπως οι πιγκουίνοι άλτες και οι κεντού κάνουν συνήθως 2 αυγά, όμως αυτόν θα είναι και τα 2 γόνιμα και θα τα φροντίζουν οι γονείς. Η Ντόν πρέπει και πάλι να ελέγχει και να αριθμεί τα αυγά, όμως αυτό απαιτεί λίγη συνεργασία.
Some of our older birds, they know that even just our gesture of just lifting them up by the chest slightly and underneath, most of our older birds will just stand up because they know what's happening, whereas younger birds takes a few year seasons to learn that behaviour. So she might put up a little bit of a fight. Hi guys. Hi Muffin. You got a wee egg? Oh, have you got a wee egg? You do. Lovely. So you bend down, nice and calm. I'll let her have a wee sing. I'll give her one of my hand. just so I can make sure that the beak's safe, and I use the back of the hand to lift the bird, and that means I can stretch under and also shield the egg with my hand. We don't want the egg to be pecked by the penguin at the same time. So I've got a China graph pencil. I'm going to put a beg number 1 on it, and that's because it's egg number 1. Right, so I'll just pop that back under Muffin. Good girl. Yes, I know. Okay. She's very protective, and rightly so. This is a very precious egg to her, and then hopefully in a month or so we'll see chicks hatch.
Όπως πολλά πουλιά, η Μάφιν έχει ένα σημείο γυμνό από φτέρωμα για να κλωσά καλύτερα τα αυγά της.
They've got a little area of a fold of skin, and that she'll have plucked all the little feathers out to expose that skin, and there's increased blood flow to that area of skin to get it nice and warm, and she's essentially targeted that bit of skin so it's sitting now on that egg, and that's what's keeping that egg warm. So she's readjusting herself to make sure that she's not going to crush her egg, but also that she wants the egg in the right position.
Μα δεν είναι όλα όπως φαίνονται. Πίσω από τις εικόνες των περήφανων γονιών εκτιλήσεται ένα διαφορετικό δράμα.
We've actually seen this year a couple of changes of partners. So we have Mr. and Mrs. Spain, who have been a pair for many, many years. I've had many chicks together. This year, actually, a young female called Spud has actually moved in on the nest and stolen Mr. Spain off of Mrs. Spain, which is very sad to see. Like, we feel really bad for her. Another pair split up, which were called Stephen and Boo. A young female called Holly has now come in and stolen Stephen off of her, so there must be something in the air this year. We always kind of compare it to watching a soap opera on telly, because there's so much, I don't know, there's cheating left, right and centre, and there's stealing of stones, and there's fighting, and I've never known a species to be so unfaithful to their partners as penguins. It's like they're one of the worst.
Πάντα, αγαπημένα των επισκεπτών, τα χιλιανά φλαμίνγκο είναι ένα από τα 6 είδη που υπάρχουν στον κόσμο. Η απώλεια βιότοπου εξαιτίας ανθρώπινων δραστηριοτήτων όπως η γεωργία και η εξόρυξη, καθώς και η παράνομη συλλογή αυγών, είναι σημαντικοί παράγοντες για τη μείωση του αριθμού των χιλιανών φλαμίνγκο στη φύση. Η λέξη φλαμίνγκο προέρχεται από τα πορτογαλικά και σημαίνει κόκκινη χίνα. Αυτή η ομάδα πρόκειται να κάνει τον ετήσιο έλεγχο υγείας της, ένα δύσκολο εγχείρημα για το οποίο προετοιμάζονται οι φροντιστές Νίκ και Λίζ.
We're just going to get the scale set up, so when we get the flamingos from outside, we'll bring them in here, we'll weigh them, and then we'll take them out to the vet.
Λες και είναι απλό να ζυγίσεις ένα ψηλό πουλί με μακριά λεπτά πόδια και αιχμηρό ράμφος.
Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll get the flamingo caught up, bring them in. We'll use the cover just to give them a bit of security as well.
Ο Νίκ μετακινήθηκε από τα οπλιφόρα στα πτηνά μόλις τις 3 τελευταίες εβδομάδες και ο σημερινός έλεγχος υγείας θα είναι μεγάλο μάθημα για αυτόν.
I have done it before, but this time I'm here for the whole duration. I was only here towards the end last time, so by the time I got down here, there's about 5 to do. So now there's 27, so yeah, it's going to be an interesting hour or so, I think.
An hour?
That's about how long it takes, isn't it?
Fingers crossed, yeah.
Oh, right. Could it take more?
No, we'll fly
It's going to definitely take an hour.
It'll definitely take an hour.
Η πρώτη δουλειά του Νίκ σήμερα το πρωί ήταν να οδηγήσει το κοπάδι των φλαμίνγκο από τον κυρίως χώρο σε έναν μικρότερο περίβολο.
I've never done it before, so I didn't know how it's going to go, but they're obviously well trained. I just walked them in. So they know once you walk down to a certain part of the enclosure, they just head to the other part because they don't want to go anywhere near you. So then I just walked them in and yeah, just shut the gates behind them. Easy enough. So we're just waiting at the moment for the vets to come down so we can do the health checks, and colleagues as well, just to help us out, make the process as quick as possible. Colleagues could be coming from the bird section, primate section, any section really, because we all help each other out.
Με 2 κτηνίατρους, νοσοκόμες και φροντιστές για να πιάσουν, να ζυγίσουν και να κρατάνε τα πουλιά κατά τον έλεγχο, τα πράγματα γρήγορα γίνονται άνετα. Πρώτη στάση για τα πουλιά, μόλις τα πιάσουν, είναι ο χώρος ζύγισης. χωρίς πολλές αυρότητες.
Anna's checking the microchips, so each animal is individually identified with a microchip, so similar to your cat or dog would be microchipped, so all zoo animals by law have to be individually identified, and so if they're big enough then they have a little microchip. So we're just checking that that's working. We're cleaning off the feet so that we can see them clearly and see any areas of calluses and things like that on the underside of the foot. We're taking a photograph so we've got a visual record against, so the little whiteboard you'll see is their individual identifier number, which we'll insert underneath the feet. Grand. Good to go. Yep. Thank you.
We use that as an opportunity to physically examine them. So yes, you know, eyes, mouth, beak, wings, feathers, legs, etc., etc. Listen to them as well. Listen to lungs and heart, and really just give them a thorough MOT.
A few of them have got little scabs on the legs as well, so we're just checking that.
He has a small wound on his joint. I just clean it. Now I'm just applying skin glue just to keep it in place.
It does get very busy. But I think the sooner we can do it, then the less stress it is on the birds. They're not birds that you can get close to on a regular basis. With the health check for all of the birds, we look at everything from their feet to their feather condition.
So this one's a 3. Lovely.
Ready to go?
Good job. Yep.
Done a bit of the weighing part, done a bit of the catching part, and done a bit of the check part. So yeah, it's going well.
Όμως η ημέρα του Νίκ είχε μία αναπάντηχη αναποδιά.
I've been cold for approximately 3 hours and 10 minutes. I've made some bad choices in life that I need to go and amend, I think. But I was told it was going to be nice. And there's nothing worse than working and you've been having too many clothes on and getting too hot. So I'm freezing. This is going to finish and I'm going to go have a break and put a jumper on, I think, because I'm very cold.